Hmm. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. I have with me today Thomas from Tarot Your Way. Hey,
Hi,
Thomas.
everybody. Hi, Marina. How you doing?
I am doing very well. Thank you very much. Enjoying the fall weather here. I hope that it kind of starts to stay a little cool for longer than a minute, because this summer was really, really hot.
We're not quite to fall weather. We're summer light right now.
Summer light, yeah, yeah. Well, that's all right. Nothing wrong with that. And so, uh, you were telling me you went camping, and where did you go camping?
I went to a place called Cameron, Texas, which is somewhere near Waco and Temple, Texas.
Oh, okay.
So about 2.5 hours from Houston, and uh, it was nice. I got a little more suntan on me, so I don't burn up on the cruise.
Nice, nice. That'll be wonderful. I was in Texas. I was actually just outside of San Antonio. Um, Honestly, it's got to be about 20 years back. Loved San Antonio. Just, yeah, did the river walk. Really, really enjoyed it. And I'm willing to bet that if I went back right now, I wouldn't recognize it.
Um, well, all the touristy things are still there: the Alamo and the Riverwalk and the Needle and
Yeah, all that good stuff.
all that
All the
good
good
stuff.
stuff. Yeah. And I got to go to the ocean, and that was, kind of interesting and nice and whatnot. So, anyway, I'm just waiting for the notice just went out, so it'll take a little bit before the folks come in. And I will just say hello to Ness. Hey, Ness. And I want to remind you that I dropped a video for members on Monday morning that was a reading for the rest of the week for all the things that were the energy. So if you'd like to ask another question, that will work. So feel free to post another question, and we'll certainly take a look at it. But in the meantime, yeah, if you go in the community tab on my channel, and you'll see that, yeah, I think it's called the week ahead. So that will do that. So for the folks that don't know, you're going on a cruise.
Yeah,
And
Key West. Taking off out of Galveston on Saturday. Going to Key West, Freeport, and Nassau, Bahamas, and then a private beach that Carnival has somewhere.
mm,
But I'll stay on the ship because of mobility issues and take my tarot cards and read them on the Lido deck and enjoy a fruity beverage or with
two,
alcohol.
three. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know what? Before you go, make up a little sign that, you know, tarot reading for, 5-minute tarot reading for, um, you know, whatever, pina coladas or whatnot. And then
Oh,
you don't have to
yeah,
worry
I
about, yeah,
could
paying
get
for
really,
any of that.
I could get really dangerous on that,
I know.
and advice might not be very prudent.
I know. Yeah, well, sometimes you got to live a little. Toss it out there, see what happens. Hey, Wiki. Hey, D Rose. Nice to see you guys here. Oh, Rose Blue says, hey, better watch the weather. The storm after Nigel.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. They'll steer clear from bad weather. We may not make a port. Um,
Yeah,
we don't get any refund other than like if there's a port fee or taxes,
yeah,
if that happens. And since I'm not planning on getting off the ship, it's not going to affect me. But the three
yeah,
others that I'm with, they may be disappointed.
yeah. Well, these things happen, and we just have to send out lots of good light and love, and it's going to be a fantastic cruise. And if there are any storms, you're going to be able to avoid them, or you know, take the necessary measures, and it's going to be fun. You're going to have your tarot cards. You're going to be entertaining yourself and everyone else.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
maybe starting out a trip to the Bahamas, but maybe we go to Jamaica instead.
Who knows? Sometimes those are the best. The ones the trips and plans that we don't plan on,
Yeah.
right? They just happen, and then we have a super good time. So wanted to very quickly ask you, did you have a chance to see that Lauren Boebert video?
Kids in the movie theater,
Yeah.
vaping, and then denying it, and then grab handing.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I've heard that maybe she's had a pole dancing past, but it seems like it stuck with her.
Yes. I think rumor has it she absolutely did. And it came from different sources that, yeah, she did. Um, so, yeah, there is a fella up there called, I believe his name is Patrick Fitzgerald, and he has done a song, parody song, and the Harry Belafonte song, um,
Banana song,
Deo,
Deo, yeah.
Deo, Deo. Okay, well, he did a parody of that song calling Vape Ho, Vape Ho, and
Oh,
it is absolutely hilarious,
so
just hilarious.
apparently they were watching Beetlejuice, and that was the song in the
Yes,
previous incarnation of Beetlejuice. So
yes,
a good
yeah,
song to parody.
absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, when I first watched it, I thought, oh my gosh, girl, like you have to know as a public figure that you're under scrutiny all the time. And Rose Blue, the Thomas's channel, or the other Thomas's channel, the info is down in the description of the video, so you can link to his channel. But the other guy, I think it's called Patrick Fitzgerald. So, but anyway, if you Google parody of Deo song, I'm sure it'll come up. And he's got several others that are really, really good. But yeah, that one, it hit the mark. Absolutely hit the mark. And yeah, just wanted I don't know, Ness, if you were here earlier when I said about your question. So yeah, if you'd like to have another question, um, please put it in. Love to do that. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, make sure you put them in all caps. That way, it gets my attention. It gives us something to chat about, to look at, and more than glad to toss a few cards. But in the meantime, if you just come for the chat, well, that works too. You're more than welcome to join in what we're chatting about. So, yes, with here she is portraying herself as a Christian woman with strong morals. I saw a little I think it was an emoji of sorts that said, "Uh-oh." Um, just a minute. I want to make sure I get it right. The erection was fixed.
Uh,
So yeah, she's being a little silly. Okay, she gets tossed out. She issues um, an apology, saying, "Yeah, I shouldn't do that," And then the next day, she said, "I wasn't vaping. That wasn't me." Like, girlfriend, we got video, like video, and not from a distance. You can definitely tell that it was you doing the vaping. And here you are, you've got a pregnant woman who's sitting behind you who leans over and says, "Please don't vape. I'm pregnant." And the solution is, "Oh, okay, well, maybe I'll just keep on vaping." And your boyfriend for the night says to the woman, "Oh, well, sorry about that. Can I buy you a drink?" Like, did I mention I was pregnant? Anyway, hi,
would,
Hershey.
would it be dangerous for a baby if the pregnant lady drank? I don't know. In the '60s, when I was born, there was cigarettes going on. Well,
Yes. Yeah.
cigarettes, Valium, and uh, grasshoppers or pink squirrels or
Oh,
something,
oh, oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
and maybe a fondue.
Oh, absolutely fondue. Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of that, but you know, we were doing things that we shouldn't have been doing because we honestly either didn't know any better or didn't look at the long-term effects. Well, now that we know, okay, to each his own. Um, yeah, Rose Blue says, yeah, I was born 2 months early, 2 pounds. My bio mom drank. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to shame anyone for doing that because that's not my journey. That's not my purpose. Um, everyone makes their decisions based on what they think is good. And this particular woman thought that, yeah, vaping might be harmful to the child. In fact, I don't think vaping would be as harmful as a drink, to be honest.
Well, I think the first flight that I took, um, it was probably from Cedar Rapids, Iowa to Kansas City and then on to Los Angeles. Well, when we got the Kansas City to Los Angeles portion, um, they handed out cigarettes, and there was a little ashtray in the on the
Oh,
armrest.
yeah, I remember. I remember those days. I remember those days. Yeah, when you could smoke on a flight. And yeah, we don't do that anymore. Hey, Hershey Shadow Reader, thank you for being here. And yes, Rose Blue Wiki, if I haven't had said hi to you, thank you for being here. And yeah, alrighty. So we do have one question. Let's start with this and see where it goes. And it's from Wiki. And she wants to know that did Jenna Ellis flip? She did a 180 on her radio show. Interesting.
So I don't know about this Jenna Ellis person. Conservative talk show radio, maybe.
I'm thinking yes. And I'm trying to decide which cards I'm going to use. Da, da, da. Yeah, let's go to Return of Spirit, for heaven's sakes.
Well,
That's the one that always draws me in. So,
so we have the Eight of Pentacles. Um, so it was less work to flip than to go with the flow.
yeah, yeah.
And um, we don't have to have standards that we keep till our dying days. But
Yeah, Wiki says she was one of 45's lawyers. Yes, now that you mention that, yes. Okay, I get it. Yeah, yeah,
um,
she's been indicted in Georgia. Okay.
and then we have the judgment card. So public, the trial by public opinion,
Uh-huh.
has a lot of other people judging her flip stance, because uh, she wouldn't stand for anything, and Edge Swords, she's tied up and bound and blind, so she doesn't even realize that she did a 180,
Yep.
and it's it's upside down as well,
Yeah.
so uh, she she's not going to be grounded. She's going to fall right out of the ground and up on her head into the sky. So
Yep. Hi,
just
Gina.
so
Yeah.
when we put the blinders on and try to look at justice blindly, some people only know their justice and
Exactly.
don't uh, don't see what the law's justice means.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I will make up my own rules as I go along. And anything that I do, I'm doing because I know what I'm doing, but you can't do the same thing.
And
So,
I can do it
yeah.
because they're my marbles, and if I don't like the game you're playing, I'm taking them and running away. I'm gonna pick up your marbles too before I go.
Yeah. Just to teach you a lesson. Yeah. I start off with the Empress. And yeah, she really felt that she was, on top of her game. She knew what she was doing. She knew that even though nobody else could control 45, well, this is different. She can go in, she can control him. And it's crossed by the 7 of Swords. I don't think so, sweetheart. Have a seat. So, um, yeah, she thought that she was going to be able um, to kind of weave things her way so that she could come out a winner. It didn't. Yeah, she was approached and she was told, "Okay, here's the way that things should go. Here's this is in the past. It's you can continue to be a lawyer and practice in some states, or you could lose your license and you could lose everything. So if you want to practice in some states, then I suggest maybe you have a chat with us." And she said, "Where do I sign?" Yeah, totally with it. Yeah, the 10 of Wands. It was a burden. Really, it was a burden because she's not as clever as she thought she was, right? So,
I've been there.
mhm. I think we all have. That's where we learn some of our most valuable lessons. And I think, yeah, the outcome is, yeah, the Hermit. Yeah, she has flipped, and now she's just going to sit back and kind of reflect on what she did and what her association with 45, what it cost her, and was it worth whatever money he paid her, if he paid her at all. So, yeah, yeah, I think she flipped. She flipped like a coin. Alrighty. And So Rose Blue. And thank you, Gina, for putting up um, Thomas's YouTube page.
Thank you, Gina.
Yeah, absolutely.
Much
And you
appreciated.
guys, don't forget to go over to his channel. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe. You know, all the YouTubey stuff, as David from Tarot by the Bay would say, right? So, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe here as well. Consider becoming a member. Press the join button, and it will give you some of the options on membership. Or go down in the description of the video, and I think one of the first links on there is the join button, because I know sometimes you can't join from your iPhone. You have to be on a computer. So there we go. And so we did that. Rose Blue wants to know, will the January 6th case be moved to original DC date for jury protection and fairness? Um, my sense was always that it was going to go early. And the reason it was going to go early is, of course, because Trump doesn't know when to shut up. He's constantly putting his foot in his mouth, right? Hey, Suzanne, how are you? So, what do you think? What do you get for that?
Well, I think that 45's calendar is getting filled up just like mine. And he may not have a choice of what goes when.
Mm-hmm.
The documents case probably will be the best case against him to get. I wouldn't say imprisonment, because they're not going to imprison a former president, but there will be a heavy ankle monitor somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Um, but let's see. January 6th, go to the December date. Six of Pentacles, our success and our charity card.
Huh.
Well, if we move it up to December, or if we bring it back to December, I can get a few more months grift off this and offer an NFT.
Yeah.
And but it turns into sleepless nights for him, our Nine of Swords. He's got worries, but he's not worried about the things that he's supposed to be worried about. He's just
Exactly.
worried about his next soundbite, Twitter rant. What can make me look good? And then we have our Wheel of Fortune. So I think what's on deck is not is not a good day-to-day hiccup in his life. So I think maybe that monkey wrench gets thrown under the chariot wheels, and he just gets derailed and can't build a case or can't go forward.
Yeah. He has already said too much about and too many nasty things about Jack Smith and about the Judge Chutkin, and some of the people that are more than likely going to testify against him. So Judge Chutkin is absolutely right when she said, you wanted more time, gave you more time. I also asked you not to, go out there and start bullying people uh, and muddying up the jury pool. So maybe the way that we do that is Yeah, we have the trial sooner rather than later so that there isn't that much of an influence on the jury pool. That makes total sense. And if I was Judge Chutkin, um, I think this is something that I would have known about about Donald, that he can't keep his mouth shut. So what do? You give him a little bit more rope and you say, now, Donald, don't do that, knowing full well that that's exactly what he's going to do. So then you can reel him back in. So, yeah, I start off with the Eight of Cups, and this is him. This is 45 having to walk away from what he's doing. He's trying to distance himself um, by being nasty. Well, that's not the way you do things. It's not working for him. Five of Wands. Yeah, he's going to go and he's going to argue, and it was stolen, and right, it's the same song.
Yeah,
Just
let's
flip
let's
the
dance
record
around.
over.
Let's dance around the facts.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, Five of Wands. Then I get Five of Swords. So he thinks with yeah with the Five of Wands that he just really honestly believes that he is above it all. He's not. He's going to struggle, and I think that the judge is going to come in and as the magician and say, "Okay, you want to play? Want to see what's up my sleeve? Come a little closer." So yeah, and his money isn't going to help him. It's his money is what's really going to bury him.
Does
So
he have any money left? He's always fundraising.
yeah, it's what he does. He doesn't know how to do anything else. I think that this gives him an opportunity to grift a little more. Um, but I think what's happening is more and more people, even some of his supporters, are sitting back and um, realizing that they've been sold a bill of goods. And maybe they're not as quick to jump up and, um, you know, publicly say, oh no, we've been taken for a ride, because it means that they have to admit they were wrong. And some people just can't do that. What they can do, however, in private is vote against him, vote against the Republicans that are supporting him, and so on. I think that's probably
Well, he might be dividing the Republican Party so that they can't win the next election.
yeah,
Who do you vote for? Do you go for the same old devil you knew, or do you vote for DeSantis?
yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's yeah, it one of the things that I find really, really interesting is what Joe Biden does something good, and what happens, the news media is all over it like it's not such a good thing, right? Like he got the five Americans released out of, where was it? I think, was it Libya? Or no, no, not Libya. I think it was Iran. Yeah. Okay. So, um, hey, Gerald, nice to see you here. So he gets those people out. He has been. Some of those poor people have been there as hostages, whatever, for 5-10 years. So he gets them out. Um, he gives Iran, he gives Iran access. He doesn't pay them $6 billion. Um, it was their money to begin with. He froze it, right? That money was frozen, and I think it might even have been frozen under Obama, to be honest. So he didn't pay $6 billion. He allowed them to have access to the money that was theirs, as long as they um, used it for humanitarian purposes instead of military and so on and so forth. Well, the news media focuses in on that $6 billion, and it's like, oh my gosh, look at this. Joe Biden gave the boogeyman $6 billion. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. They kind of always skew the facts to try to make him look bad. It would be like if it was announced tomorrow, Joe Biden has found the cure for childhood cancer. The news media would be coming by and saying, "Uh-oh, look at that. 6,000 people in the pharmaceutical industry are going to lose their jobs." Like they're just constantly flipping it on him. So we've got to remember all the good things that he has done. Absolutely. Okay.
Is there another question lined up, or?
There is. And yeah, if you guys have any other questions, please put them in.
I wanted to read
we're
on
not.
later. I wanted to read on Hunter Biden suing Joe Biden for releasing the tax documents.
Okay.
Well, you gotta be impartial. We can skew it whatever direction we want to for our personal reasons, but we gotta. If we give an hour to the Republicans, we can give 5 minutes to the Dems.
Damn straight we can. Okay. So Rose Blue wants to know if the partial gag order will be granted.
It doesn't need to be a partial gag order. It needs to be a permanent muzzle order.
Yeah.
So there's the burden, the 10 of Wands, because he would need a muzzle to keep silent, because he can't deal with temperance. He can't deal with balance or fair play, or
yep.
It's just got to be my way or no way at all. I am righteous, and then we got our 5 of Wands, our strife and our struggle. So it's not as bad as the swords where somebody's playing an unfair game. It's just tit for tat for tit for tat, for eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it'll be granted, but will it be followed? No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, isn't that funny? I get the 10 of Wands as well. Oh. Okay. So the decision is going to come in fairly quick. I start off with the Chariot. So the judge knows what she's doing. And getting Trump to squeal on himself is so easy because he does it all the time. Okay. So she's going to come by with a decision. Um, the Page of Swords, this one's going to sting a little, and yeah, she's going to put things in place that is going to um, that's going to limit. This is the Nine of Pentacles. This is usually the happy merchant, right? The satisfied merchant. Well, yeah, she's going to tell the merchant that he can't be selling his wares the way that he wants to. She fully knows that this is going to be a burden on him, and that it's going to make him explode a little more. And when that happens, the Queen of Wands, or the Queen of yeah, the Queen of Swords, sorry, she's the just the facts, nothing but the facts. Yeah, she is painting him into a corner, so that I think this goes in line with the other reading about, will they go early in terms of trial? Yeah, I think that they are setting him up so that he's just going to be blah 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 blah, and they're going to get him um, early. Yeah, I think so. Permanent muzzle. Yeah, that would work. That would work. He can't stay quiet for or any length of time, even though the judges and his lawyers are telling him to zip it. Mm-mm.
They would have to take all technology away from him: telephones, fax machines, computers,
Yeah,
Blackberries,
yeah. Everything.
smoke signals. Um,
Yeah, totally, totally. You know what? I don't know about you, but I have I I've never seen him in prison in the traditional sense that, here you are, right? It's he is too much um of a liability being in regular prison, right? It it doesn't make sense. But I do see him being somewhere where he is in a room by himself, without his, or without his phone and all his little gadgets. They might give him, things that look like it's you're connected to the internet. You can post to Truth Social, but none of this stuff ever goes anywhere. And he just kind of slowly goes into La La Land. What do you think?
well, maybe they put him in the backyard and give him Fisher Price technology. The lawnmower with the little popping
Absolutely.
balls inside of it.
Yeah. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Annie Hamlet. Hey, Joe G. And Leilani, Tiffany. Hello, all you guys who came in that I didn't have a chance to say hello to because I was too busy gabbing, is what I do. Okay, so we know, yeah, the partial order will be granted. Okay, Leilani says, will Fani Willis be able to schedule a trial involving Trump before her term ends in 2024? Um, I think she, I think she is scheduled to go. Is she not in the March or April?
Yeah. This is the Georgia election steal
Yes. Yeah.
case. Um, there's so many of them, I get confused very easily.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah. Because I was thinking you almost need to have a chart with, that colored string that kind of goes to know. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Let's block out my calendar for this month. Um,
Yeah. Exactly. Um, the fact that she is up for a re-election, I think, could be a really good thing. I think it's going to bring a lot of attention to it. What you got?
Ace of Cups. So
Oh,
that's a big yes.
yeah,
I mean, just in one card.
yeah.
Uh, yeah. Well, he won't be able to keep balance.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, his card, our little devil.
There you go.
Of course, he sees Fonnie Willis as the devil, but
Yeah, she's.
and did that's not the judge that he appointed for the circuit federal judge, is it?
No, I think the
Not one of them.
federal. Yeah, that. Yeah. Eileen Cannon. I think she is the Florida
The Florida
judge
one.
dealing with the documents. Ay caramba, this is yeah, you're absolutely right. It's like, wait a minute, who's this? How are they connected? But yeah.
It's
Um
like a big plate of spaghetti with not a very pleasant sauce. It would, to me, it would be like lemon and capers. I'm not very fond
yeah,
of that flavor. You know, give me marinara or
yeah,
bolognese or Alfredo.
yeah, yeah. Anything but. Yeah, absolutely. Um okay, here's Fani. She's got strength behind her. She knows what she's doing. She's got people support. There are people out there who absolutely stand behind her. She's got her I's dotted and her T's crossed, right? Yeah. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've got the Ten of Wands. So yeah, she's got her you know what together. She's not taking any prisoners. She's going to be just fine. I think that yeah, she's definitely going to be able to get him into court and have a sentence even before um, she's up for re-election, and then she's gets back into her position. She wins her position again. Totally. Okay. Um, now, will they? The judge is not going to allow the other 17 to go at the same time. What do you think? What do you get for that?
That's the fake electors in Georgia.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, well, uh, whoever the team was that picked them, um, I don't know if they thought, yeah, this is the right way to go. Let me be a fake elector because I'm not doing anything wrong because he's going to pardon me. Uh, so,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
looks like a big tower moment for everyone involved.
Yeah.
Um, you know, even for the nation itself. You know,
Yes.
because we've we've let our election process and due process be um, corrupted, and then there we have the Knight of Pentacles. With enough money, I can fix anything. Um, but he's offering up as a seed of hope that we can uh, salvage the process. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then we've got our So politicians and legal systems will be each other's bed buddies to the end. So
Yep.
we found a way to corrupt and just make it normal, everyday occurrence that, nobody bats an eye anymore because
Yep.
we expect every politician to be uh, connected or paid off or just
Mm-hmm.
in it for the con game. We
Yeah.
they've got the golden parachute um, retirement plan, and they get health care that nobody else in the United States
Yeah.
gets. And it's like, just get me in the door, and I'll vape and I'll play grab happy, um, and
Yep.
you know I'll say false information, false news, fake news, um, and come to my $1 million a plate dinner so I can pay off my lawyers when I do get in trouble.
That's pretty much it. Is I think that one of the things that that 45 did was um, he made the abnormal normal. He made the what used to be, something that he made the immoral acceptable. Like there was a time that even it, politicians might have differing opinions from each other, but it was never personal, right? They could discuss things across the aisle and get things across the aisle. He made it very, very personal. Um,
Um,
and
well,
that's not good. That's
he
not
was
how
effective.
we govern.
He was effective at draining the swamp and uh, making all the bad things in the swamp evolve into worse things.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. So, are they going to try the other 17? Um, Maybe not. I think that they're going to look at how much it's going to cost if they were to need to want to try all 17 together. It would have to be at a different location. You're looking at changing security, where what location is big enough. It's expensive to do that. Okay. Um, it also will it will play on a lot of people's emotion with the Ace of Cups, in terms of, you know we um, we expect them to all be tried together. They did this together,
Mhm.
so they should be tried together. So that's one of the things that the judge sort of has to weigh, is the expense of moving it versus people's perception that
So,
we're going to.
so two trials, 45, and then
Yeah,
a group of
yeah,
the other 17, because they they can't let the other 17 just go
no,
because they were complicit.
yeah, yeah. I think where the judges right now is the Four of Pentacles, um, trying to kind of keep things as they are, holding on to what he has. I think that they are going to be encouraging some of the 17 to take plea deals, and some of them are going to see that they are much better off making a deal with the prosecution and settling on something rather than going to trial. That is going to reduce the number of defendants that are going to be in the room. And I think they're going to get to the point with the Four of Wands where they have, it's not going to be the whole 17. It's going to be Trump and a few others. I think there's I'm thinking 9 are going to turn. 9 are going to accept that plea deals. So it's going to be a much smaller group that is actually going to need to show up for court. Yeah. And exactly, Rose Blue. They don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars for lawyers, and they haven't learned how to grift on their own. So there we go. Did I? Okay. Let me get rid of those. And Lilani says, yeah, McAfee said the courtroom is too small for all 19. If there's a split, who knows which brig Trump will fall in. Well, what's going to happen is there's going to be the people who support Trump and the people who turn against him. And I think he's going to be very surprised when he shows up in court to find out the people that have flipped on him and who are willing to stand up now and say, no, I got my direction from so-and-so. I got my direction from Trump himself. This is what he said. So, yeah. What do you get for that?
Oh, well, Trump has a way of wording things that makes people think he told them directly to do it, but he's very slimy and slippery in how he words things. They took the pill, they drank the Kool-Aid.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't think that these people are going to get off the way they think they are, either going with Trump or going against Trump. There is going to be some accountability for both groups.
Absolutely. And I think that there should be. I think that the people that are going to flip could end up with fines and with limitations on what they can and cannot do in terms of running for office again and that sort of thing. It's going to be more than just a slap on the wrist, but they're not going to lock them up and throw away the key, right? They are going to offer them something in exchange for their testimony so that justice will appear to have been done in terms of their fines and conditions. But it's going to appeal to them a lot more than spending any time in jail. So, yeah, that's where I think kind of the difference is. So, and Trump supposedly raised money for Giuliani.
Yeah, $100,000 a plate dinner. But he didn't raise money for Giuliani's defense. He raised money to pay Giuliani what he owes Giuliani.
Big difference. Yeah, big difference. And Giuliani's going to take that money and just hand it over to
another lawyer. But
yeah,
it's how can you get away with passing on your bills to somebody else? I mean, he doesn't have any moral responsibility, and he doesn't have any fiscal responsibility,
no,
or financial responsibility. It's like Um, I was the president. Everybody owes me everything.
Yeah. And that this fundraiser might very well have been, sort of, yeah, to help, you know, Rudy out. But, Trump would never do anything that didn't benefit him as well. So I'm sure that whatever money he raised, he did one of those: one for me, one for you, two for me, one for you, you know? So, yeah, Trump got something out of it and then passed what was left over to Giuliani to, here you go. I've paid you off.
We had the fundraiser at Mar-a-Lago, and this was what it cost. Um,
Yes.
you owe us $300
Yes.
million.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. All righty. So hey, let's take a look at Hunter Biden. Poor Hunter Biden. He's not even a public official. He's why
Yeah,
do we
he's
care?
not. He's not part of the administration.
Yeah.
But he did. But he did have access to foreign officials, so we have to look at it.
Yeah.
Um,
But did he have access to foreign officials to the tune of $2 billion like Jared? You know, no,
we have
I.
justice,
Mm,
so right now I don't know if that's justice for Jared or justice for
mm,
the Republicans. Um, I'm I'm gonna say it's justice for the happy family. You know,
I know.
where
Yeah,
he's going to prevail. He's going to be found not guilty because, uh, and again, we have the marriage, the Jewish wedding, so tight bed partners. Um, they don't really have a case against him. Um, where's the laptop that never existed?
yeah,
And
yeah,
I would be uh, the blind guy fixing up the computers and watching Hunter Biden's porn.
yeah, yeah. That you gave to what, two FBI agents who never left a business card and you don't remember their names. And yeah, you handed this over, you handed that over.
to the
So
to the law office of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe, like the
yes,
Stooges.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Um, totally. So yeah, I start with the Three of Cups. This is, some of the people who are celebrating the fact that, oh yeah, we got something on him, right? We're indicting him. We've charged him. We're gonna, do this, that, and the other thing. Okay, well, they've come out and said it now that that's what they're doing. Now they have to come up with the proof. And the Two of Pentacles tells me that they don't really have what they think they have. And now they're trying to go back and kind of concoct what they have to fit the narrative, right? So they're bouncing back and forth about, well, can we do this? Can we do that? Um, Followed up with the Eight of Pentacles, which is, just kind of sitting back and they are reviewing what they have and realizing that what they have isn't a whole lot. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They don't really have anything. So here comes the Knight of Cups. This is the guy that'll tell you anything you want to hear as long as he gets to do what he wants. So, this isn't necessarily a guy that I wouldn't take him seriously. He's not coming from a good place. He's coming from a place of, tell me what you want to hear, and yeah,
I'll say
whatever
what you
you
want
want
to
to
hear.
hear, I'll say it. Yeah, I'll say it from the bottom of my heart, and I'll mean it. So, no, ultimately, the Six of Swords, they got nothing. They got nothing. So, they're going to have to drop this. And ultimately, this is just another way to try to make Joe Biden look bad. You know, yeah, like we said, Hunter was never part of the government. He was not part of the administration. He never held public office, unlike the Trump kids who did. So, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You're going to go after Hunter Biden, then you better be just as energetic going after Don Jr., Eric, Ivanka, and Jared. So,
Well, Trump was supposed to divest his business holdings before being president, and
yes,
um, I don't believe that ever happened.
no, no.
Griftco went on and on and on.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. That's exactly what he did. Is yeah, no, I handed it over to my son Don Jr. Oh, was
It was
that the
part of the
same?
administration.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And no, we never discussed it. Well, of course you didn't. No, never, ever did it ever come up. So yeah, that's liar's gonna lie and grifter's gonna grift. And at least we can be, I guess, in some ways, we can thank Trump for shining a light on all the cockroaches and where they live and helping us identify who they are because they have identified themselves. Now we can take steps to remedy the offices that they held, where before it was very silent and people might have suspected, but they didn't know. So there you go, trying to find some positivity in all this stuff. Ah, yeah. Lilani says, don't forget the Kushner family who sold U.S. citizenship to Chinese citizens for $500,000 investment. Yeah.
Um,
So there you
well,
go.
we ought to go to the Australian version. If you want to immigrate to Australia, you got to have a business plan that will employ 14 people and pay $1 million to get into the country.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. And there's a lot of things that Australia does right.
Mm-hmm.
That
Oh, but we can't say that socialist word because that scares
yeah, I
a
know.
republic.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Very much so. And yet, they're the ones who benefit the most from the socialism, like their healthcare programs and their pension and all that kind of stuff. So it's okay for them to benefit by it. They just don't want anyone else to benefit by it. And so they make it sound like it's something horrible when socialism, it's I have lived with socialism all my life. That's what we have in Canada basically, is we do have a lot of socialism, right? Free free health care. Yeah, there's a lot of benefit to it. Yeah. And Rose Blue says, oh, do we have a national election like Australia in the next 5 years?
Yeah. Well, while I was in Australia, um, it's everybody it's compulsory to vote if you're
Yes.
voting age. You get fined and or jail time if you don't vote.
Yeah.
Um, if you're out of the country, you're expected to um, file your ballot
Yeah.
as well.
That makes
It,
sense.
uh, and that would, if we ever became a three-party system, that might be a viable way to get that third party in,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of people on both sides that don't
Mm-hmm.
vote.
You're right. There is. And usually they are the most vocal ones when the candidate that they like doesn't get in power.
Yeah, well, my my thing was, did you vote? No, then I don't want to hear about it.
Exactly.
Talk to the hand, because I
Yeah.
ain't listening to
Yeah.
you piss and
Exactly.
moan about something that you didn't do as your civic duty.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And how I
totally
got
agree.
out of how I got out of jury duty. Well, you know, do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. These are the freedoms that you will miss terribly should things occur and the country changes and you no longer have those those rights. What are you going to do then? What are you going to do then if you don't have, the government says, yeah, we're no longer doing ABC and you don't agree with it, there's nothing you can do. So, yeah. Rose Blue says, yeah, that's what I mean. Free election, no fuss or muss. No, and I don't like this electoral college thing either. I think it's time for that to go. And
Yeah, who understands it? And it may have had its point back in the founding fathers' days, but
yeah, yeah. Isn't the Constitution meant to be a living document?
mm, well, it's dying a slow death.
Mm, yeah, I think so. I think so. Oh, well. All right. So we have been on for an hour, 7 minutes. And oops, hold on. Gonna sneeze. Okay. There we go. So I wanted to thank you very, very much for being here with me, spending some time, spending some quality conversation and all that. Um, yeah, Andre Santos. We were sort of doing more of the political readings at this point. However, if you'd like to come back on Thursday at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, when I will be on with Val with our messages for Lightworker, then you can certainly post your question there, and you're more than glad to read on it. Okay. Once again, Thomas, thank you, thank you. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic trip.
Thank
You'll
you.
have to come. You'll have to come back with some photos that you can share.
Well, at least some thumbnail shots, because I've got very few of them. Uh, so I'll make sure that the guys that go with me
Yeah,
get some action pictures of me reading tarot on the Lido deck or something. Um, Thank
that's
you,
fabulous.
everyone in the chat, for being here and asking questions, and
Yes.
subscribing to Marina's channel and being a channel member, because it does um, take some money to do this and have
Mm.
equipment.
Yeah, it it You're right. It certainly does. And I am going to do a little bit of a plug about the memberships. And hello, Sassy Cindy. Nice to see you here. We're just getting ready to kind of close off, but I'm glad you're here. And I'm not John. Nice to see you again as well. So, yeah, one of the things that the membership, and when you join whatever level of membership you join, it allows me to offset some of the cost of running the channel. Now, you would think that, it's you would think that it doesn't involve a lot of things, but when you get right down to the nuts and bolts, it really does. So, um, in order to have more than one or two people on my channel, I subscribe to StreamYard. That's a monthly cost. In order to make sure that my live streams and my channel operates fairly efficiently and quickly, that means the 5G internet, that's at a cost. The Getting the StreamYard fees, internet fees, the cost of tarot cards, the cost of oracle cards, the cost of backgrounds and equipment and everything else. Whether you realize it or not, I think that the average YouTube creator spends about $125 a month. Now, some are going to spend less, some are going to spend more, but sometimes it's a cost that we take on because we love what we do, right? So, yeah, if you're not a subscriber, you still get the same level of reading and everything else. Fine, being a subscriber, you just get that little extra, right? So, subscribers, you come in the room, you get a shout out, you get a birthday shout out. As a subscriber, if you ask a question, you jump the queue, you automatically come to the top of the list, and so on. So take a look at what membership offers and see if it appeals to you, and then join as a member. And if membership is not in your budget right now, then subscribe to the channel. It's free until midnight tonight. So, anyway, thank you all for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your time. And I hope that I will see you all tomorrow at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for Sisters of the Mystical Tarot. And I know you're going to be packing and getting yourself organized for your trip. And I can't wait. Um, we'll have to do this again when you're back. You can tell me all about it.
Okay.
All righty. Excellent. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Marie.